Hey guys, project-zodiac here. I'm back with another video, and this is a really cool special unboxing video. This is, as you guys can see, an album, and this is an album that really surprised me. Quick disclaimer though, I am recording this so much earlier than I normally do my videos, so my entire family is awake, they're walking around, making noises. Please ignore those. And my dog is also in my room with me, so if you guys hear him walking around, please ignore that as well. But with that said, so this arrived today, and it's ironically, it was supposed to come tomorrow, but ironically, it came with a particular instrument that I just unboxed as well. So I really hope you guys check out that particular instrument's unboxing, and this is that instrument. This is a ocarina, but it's an ocarina that actually glows and lights up as you play individual notes. So it's really, really cool. And I have never really seen anyone do an unboxing for this or like a overview of it. So definitely check out that video of mine. Because this instrument's really, really cool. It's amazing. I've been dreaming about this for about 6 years. But there's also a reason why I'm bringing this up, which we'll get to in a little bit. So yes, this is an album that honestly really surprised me, and I'm unboxing this right after I unboxed that ocarina. So we're just gonna go straight into this because I have a lot to say, honestly. So the name of the album is Ode to Silence by Jason Wade. For those of you that don't know, Jason Wade is the singer of the band Lifehouse. Lifehouse is famous for many songs. In particular, their biggest one I would say is You and Me. But then they also have songs like Somewhere in Between, Between the Raindrops, Angeline, Broken. I'm trying to like piece together many like songs from across their records. Nerve Damage. I've actually made a fan-made music video for Nerve Damage in this YouTube channel, so I'll probably link that below as well. Um, yeah, so they've made a lot of songs. Only One, um, Hanging by a Moment, Quasimodo. Those ones are mostly from their first album. But anyway, they've made amazing, fantastic songs. And but they've been kind of silent for a while, until 2019 or 2020, one of the two, I forgot. They released a 6-song EP called Goodbye Kanan, and that EP is some of their most different works that they've ever put out. And I really, really wish they would release a physical copy of that EP along with some of their albums, but they don't. But that EP, Goodbye Kanan, guys, definitely listen to it. It's amazing. Um, Honestly, there's 6 songs. 2 of them are fine, but then when you, yeah, so trying to figure out, yeah, so 2 of them are fine. Right, Cut and Run and Rogue, they're fun, amazing, cool songs. But the other 4 songs, Chesterpot, wait, how do you say this name? Chesterpot Copperpot or something like that. I forgot how to actually pronounce that name. But yeah, so we got that one. Then we got Static, Dragonfly, and then Goodbye Kanan. Those 4 songs are breathtaking. They're atmospheric, they're dreamy. There's a little bit of country, there's a little bit of rock, a little bit of folk. It's really experimental and some of the most different things the band had ever done. And I really wish that their next album was going to sound like that. But it's been a few years now and they only had that EP. But then a few years ago, I actually found out, around the time that they had released Goodbye Kanan, the EP, that Jason Wade, the singer for Lifehouse, had released this solo album, and I just kept pushing it off. Like, I loved the artwork, but I just kept pushing it off, from hearing it. And then about a month ago, I'm like, you know what? It's been on my to-do list anyway of like albums to listen to. Let me take a look at this. And then as soon as that first song started, I already fell in love with the album. Now, is this the best album ever? No. But there's something with this album that resonates so much with me, and I can't really explain that. Some of the songs here, particularly, and I'll show you those in a minute, they're just amazing and literally some of the best songs the band had ever written. Um, and I'm like, should I buy this? I mean, I kind of want to support them, and I kind of want a Lifehouse album. Uh, I mean, this isn't the band. This is just the singer doing his own solo stuff, which I think this is his second or third album. Um, but I'm like, I kind of want a Lifehouse one. All of their songs tend to resonate a lot with me, even apparently from his solo stuff as well. So I'm like, I don't know. I'll wait and see because I don't need to keep buying so many records anymore. But I've just been listening to this album so much on repeat. I don't know why. There's just something so captivating about this. And I'm like, you know what? I I, I gotta get this on vinyl record. One, to support them. Two, to have something related to Lifehouse in a way on a physical album. And three, just because it's resonating so much with me in a way that really caught me off guard and that is really interesting. Um, and I'll explain that a little bit more in a minute. But yeah, so with that introduction out of the way, so let's just take a look here at the back. And you're probably thinking like, what is up with this artwork? And we'll talk about that in a little bit. So let's see here. But yeah, I really, really wish that Lifehouse would release oh, this thing is really sealed. I wish that they would release Goodbye Kanan on a vinyl record, and that they would release some of their previous albums as well on vinyl record too. You can only really get the previous albums on I'm really not finding a little slot for this. You can only find their previous albums on CD, and I don't really collect CD. So, I mean, I got a few here and there, mostly just because my first car didn't have a aux port, so I had to buy a few CDs for it. Okay, here we go. Yeah, this was a little hard. It's really like sealed. All right. So yes, I'm in love. First of all, like I said earlier, when I first saw the album cover a few years ago, I was already captivated so much by it. But I never really listened to it because I don't know. I just decided not to and said I would later on and never got around to it because I keep listening to a lot of, music already from bands I already like. And the bands I like have been releasing a lot of new music, so I just kept listening to those. And yeah. But, so I kind of do wish I heard this a little sooner. But here we go. So this is nice and matte, and let's get here into the back. So a think place. Don't know why they decided to put A into like a lowercase and then everything else into uppercase. If there's anything related to that, if anyone knows, please tell me. And apparently a think piece, not, I said place earlier, sorry. Apparently a think piece is an actual saying. I never knew that, and I still kind of don't really know what that means, but still. So a think piece. One of these days, and the way that you remember me, those are the three songs that I was saying is amazing and resonates so much with me. But then the other songs, Crash to the Middle Time Machine, Oda Science, Polaroids, Can't Be With You, Windows, and After the Deluge, they're all fantastic songs. And I was kind of hoping that Lifehouse would release an album in the style of Goodbye Kanan. And I kind of got that wish without realizing that they kind of did before, right after Goodbye Kanan released. It's not as experimental as Goodbye Kanan was, but it still has that atmosphere, like this dreamy desert-like atmospheric atmosphere in a way. But not so much on like the trippiness or atmospheric, more just like on as sorry, this has all of that, but it's not as trippy or as atmospheric. But a couple of these songs, the three that I mentioned, plus Time Machine, Polaroids, and I think Windows, those are also like that as well, but not so deeply into it. So yeah, they kind of had released that, and I never really realized that. And yeah, it's pretty cool. So, oh, this is pretty cool. So yeah, as you guys can see, like the artwork for this is like, what is going on? It's so weird, but I love it. Okay, so we got a think piece. Okay, so side A. It's pretty cool. All right, here we go. Ode to Silence. And then we got some lyrics as well, which is really, really cool. And again, like, now you guys are probably thinking like, is this like a country song or album with all like these, you know, desert and cactus imagery? No, it's not a country album. But it does have country undertones in some of the songs. It's again very similar to the Goodbye Kanan EP, just a slightly less experimental. I will say this, Goodbye Kanan feels very atmospheric and dreamy. For example, Dragonflies feels like you're in a cloud next to the ocean in the atmosphere, but at the same time with like a little bit of a desert and the sunset and like hints of blues and grays around you. It's definitely the most atmospheric song on that EP. Here they're more similar to Chesapeake Copper Part and Goodbye Kanan, like the song itself. So definitely still has kind of like that atmospheric vibe, a little bit of country rock, but not so much into that. I don't mind country. It's not really the genre I listen to the most. I do listen to folk and electronic music the most, and also rock as well. But I like some country stuff, like Chris Isaac, although he's not really country. He's more rockabilly, I guess, or 50s blues style. Anyway, this is up to the kind of level that I do enjoy it. And so yeah, it's definitely something so atmospheric, and it definitely feels like it's a dream. And then the vinyl itself is white, which is pretty cool. So it definitely does feel like a dream. So much so that the song, The Way That You Will Remember Me, there's even a line, "Hey, do you ever dream?" Which is fantastic. So yeah, I guess like, so this is very, very similar to Goodbye Kanan. I guess the only difference really is that, you know, it's not full on experimental, like as some of the songs in Goodbye Kanan were, but it's close enough to it. Like, if this is how much experimental Goodbye Kanan was, because of the song Dragonfly in particular, this is like how much it is for Ode to Silence. So it's not that huge of a difference. So again, amazing album. And I guess the only other difference is that while the Goodbye Kanan EP feels a little bit more alive in a way, this definitely feels a little bit more stepped back, a little bit more dry, and definitely a little bit more like airy and a little bit more dusty, I suppose you could say. It feels like there's room for something there and you can't really tell what it is. It's like something is missing with some of the instruments, I suppose. But it works. It's not bad. It just feels like, yeah, I kind of feel like the rest of the band is missing, because this is Lifehouse. It feels like Lifehouse. It's the singer and it's him doing his solo stuff. But it does definitely feel like it's more deserty and more, not country, just deserty and more inner and more dusty, and like there's something hazy and like something along that line that is missing, and you think it's some other instruments, but it's not, because the instrumentation on these songs is amazing. So I don't know, it's really hard to explain. Just definitely go listen to this. It's just amazing. Even if it does feel like that, like something is missing, like it's not fully complete, I suppose. Like it's like it's full songs, but it kind of feels like something was needed to like add in certain things. So it could be like a final version of it, but at the same time it still feels final. Like, it's really hard to explain. So again, it's not a bad album at all. Like, I'm literally captivated by this album so much, because a lot of the songs relate a lot to me. And I just wanted to say I find it ironic that this album came because I love things like this, and I mentioned the artwork. These are kind of things that, like, I think about all the time, like just seeing like this lighting and then just all of these stars. Like, these are some of the things that I resonate so much with, and this art style and everything regarding this. I even sent some of the songs to my sister, and she's like, "These songs make me think so much about you." I'm like, right? So I don't really know how to explain it. Then I even showed her the artwork, and she's like, "Hey, these are kind of the things that you tell me that you think about all the time." I'm like, exactly. So like, there's something about this album that just calls to me and resonates with me so much. Like, literally, even just this picture, I mean, not the people, but like the color palette and the stars, but it's still somewhat like daytime in a way. It's like, it's just things that I think about, and it's just so cool. And the fact that this like alien imagery came along on the same day as this alien looking ocarina that lights up again, this is why I was bringing it up earlier. For me, this is so cool and so exciting because it's kind of like things that like I calls to me in so many ways, and that I can kind of see aspects of myself and parts of myself with, and that I can relate to in many ways. So, kind of like, I guess you can say, kind of like, it's kind of like I guess another home, I suppose you could say. And it's just things I think about and, you know, um, write about and dream about and think about, like I mentioned earlier. So it's just something that is so cool and really unique for me. Um, so I'm glad that, like, to see things like this whenever I do, and then the not just the artwork but the songs itself also resonates with me. I think it's just perfect. But I've rambled on long enough. I'm gonna go listen to this on my record player now. I hope you guys listen to it too. And please also watch my unboxing for this ocarina. These are all things that mean a lot to me, and I hope that you guys enjoy this. So rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good day.